I think for the,
Did you see that? I sent you out.
they just sent out, yeah.
What you guys send it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Let's discuss that, right? I did.
Oh, sure, perfect, yes.
Apparently they're having a meeting soon.
Now, ours are gonna be.
Go on today.
Seven.
So then. You're better today. Or better.
Yeah, right, yeah, we.
They're like ready.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Wait,
Sorry.
Brian,
That intersection.
Brian.
This way.
Yeah.
It's more than enough. That's fine, just need.
The word dot is number.
Yeah, because I need to give it a landing spot.
Okay.
I'll get you that.
Yeah, I don't have the word job, but I think I can just.
Michael, how are you? That seems different day, you know? You know those guys. So, two phone guys.
Before I can get it to you, some, running there, there's a second. So I want them to wish you directly.
You gotta be careful because you're married. You don't need-
Yeah, and put the word out.
you don't need to accidentally.
Maybe when you
text-
send it.
Text
through,
Michael from company.
if you don't mind.
Just make sure I can do this.
Yep.
And she gets in and goes, what is this?
What's going on here?
You having a problem there? Jana?
No, Jana. Just me.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine, you know?
Just me.
I think I see Jana more on court sessions.
Cameras and you do here?
Yeah, you know, I see her, her partner, and, you know.
Called me the other day, I didn't even say hello to you, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, oh, very good.
But you see Mike?
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Oh, because.
Nice guy. She doesn't do that, yeah.
It's spam blower, right?
Yeah, it's all she does is.
Yeah, so she's just.
The outcome.
Welcome everyone to the Township Council Workshop, Monday, October 2025. This meeting is now called to order. Councilwoman Havel, lead us in the flag salute, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please read the statement of public notice.
Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with NJSA 10:4-8 and NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. A notice of the meeting was prominently posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on January 7th, 2025. A copy of the notice was sent to the North Jersey Herald and News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the township clerk on said date. A link and a telephone number to join the meeting virtually can be accessed on the township website at littlefallsnj.gov. Electronic provisions have been established for the public to participate during the public comment portion of the meeting.
At this time, call the roll.
Councilmember Patel, Councilmember Murphy,
Present?
Councilmember Havlet. Present. Councilmember Vanchery,
President.
Council President Scoba.
President, Mayor Damiano, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. This evening, leading as we head into October here, we have a lot of proclamations and awareness months going on, and I want to be sure that we address all of them. We are, however, going to wait until the second meeting of the month to address the National Friends of the Libraries Week, because we're hoping to have some of the Friends of the Library here with us as we read that proclamation. So this evening, we're going to start with Domestic Violence Awareness Month as we kick off October. And it reads, whereas domestic violence is a serious crime that affects people of all races, ages, gender, and income levels. And whereas domestic violence is widespread and affects over 10 million Americans each year. And whereas 1 in 3 Americans have witnessed an incident of domestic violence. And whereas children that grow up in violent homes are believed to be abused and neglected at a rate higher than the national average. And whereas only a coordinated community effort will put a stop to this heinous crime. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an excellent opportunity for citizens to learn more about preventing domestic violence and to show support for the numerous organizations that individuals who provide critical advocacy, services, and assistance to victims. Now therefore, I, James Belford Damiano, Mayor of the Township of Little Falls, hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urge the residents of Little Falls to work together to eliminate domestic violence from our community. And with the reading of this, I also want to thank our Domestic Violence Prevention Committee in town, who I saw out and about over this weekend, hanging the rest of the purple ribbons on all of our telephone poles through town. So thank you to them. They certainly put in the work to try to spread the word about domestic violence and hoping to prevent some and get people out of the cycle of abuse. So thank you to them. Next, we have a proclamation for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And as many people know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We see a lot of sports teams wearing pink and bringing, light to the breast cancer and raising funds for it. So this evening we have the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it reads, whereas breast cancer is the second most commonly diagnosed form of cancer for women in the United States. And each year, 316,950 women and 2,800 men are diagnosed each year. And whereas mammography, an X-ray of the breast, is recognized as the single most effective method in detecting breast changes long before physical symptoms can be seen or felt. Early detection and improved treatment is believed to have significantly reduced the number of deaths caused by breast cancer. And whereas researchers, scientists, and numerous nonprofit organizations are dedicated to discovering the cure for breast cancer. During the month of October, we acknowledge the extraordinary commitment and effort invested in this cause. And whereas we recognize that over 4.3 million Americans are breast cancer survivors that give us hope of a better future. And now, therefore, with the support of those who continue to cope with breast cancer, I, James Belford Damiano, Mayor of the Township of Little Falls, on behalf of the Township Council, extend our deepest respect for survivors and those advocating for prevention and a cure. And in doing so, I hereby proclaim October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The next proclamation we have this evening is Italian American Heritage Month. And earlier this evening, we raised the Italian flag over Town Hall next to our American flag here. And it was a pleasure to host Unico and their members who came here to support the flag raising of Italians here this month. And it reads, whereas October is National Italian American Heritage and Culture Month, it has been celebrated as such since 1989. And whereas from the early explorers to the 5.5 million working class immigrants who arrived in the United States around the beginning of the 20th century, Italian Americans have helped shape and develop our nation. And whereas Italian Americans have made significant economic and cultural contributions to our nation in the areas of government, science, technology, arts, entertainment, literature, products, design, and food. And whereas Italian Heritage Month is a time to celebrate our Italian American community and to recognize their many contributions to the growth and prosperity of our nation. And now, therefore, I, James Belford Damiano, Mayor of the Township of Little Falls, on behalf of the Little Falls Township Council, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as Italian American Heritage and Culture Month in the Township of Little Falls. And this week, currently, between October 5th and October 11th is Fire Prevention Week here in New Jersey. And in honor of Fire Prevention Week, we'd like to read a proclamation. And it reads, whereas Fire Prevention Week this year falls between October 5th and October 11th, and the theme is Charge into Fire Safety, Lithium-ion Batteries in Your Home. And whereas fire is a serious public safety issue and resident homes are at great risk for fires. And whereas smoke alarms can alert you of danger in the event of a fire in which you have as little as 2 minutes to escape safely. And whereas first responders are dedicated to the safety and well-being of our residents. And now, therefore, be it resolved that I, James Belford Damiano, on behalf of the Little Falls Township Council, do hereby proclaim October 5th through October 11th, 2025 as Fire Prevention Week in the Township of Little Falls. And last but not least, this evening, we have a proclamation for our National First Responders Day, which is at the end of this month, but we want to recognize all of our first responders here in Little Falls. And it reads, whereas National First Responders Day is recognized on October 28th and is a time to honor the men and women who make it their mission to take action when disaster strikes. And whereas we celebrate those who are the first to run towards a crisis and dedicate their lives to saving others. And whereas we pay tribute to the many hours around the clock these individuals give to our community. And now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor James Belford Damiano, on behalf of the Little Falls Township Council, do hereby proclaim October 28th, 2025 as National First Responders Day in the Township of Little Falls. And that is all that I have this evening for proclamations, Council President. If you'd like, I can address the bridge, or I can wait to do so until after public comment.
Thank you, Mayor. Would you like to discuss our new project on the bridge? Down
Absolutely.
down to the Passaic River?
Absolutely. So I am very pleased that the bridge that is located on our Morris Canal path that leads down to the Passaic River behind our parking lot here in town has, over the past number of years, been deteriorating and has been in pretty bad shape. There was a lot of discussions about replacing this bridge, and unfortunately, original quotes were coming in as high as $60,000, and it was an expenditure that we didn't necessarily believe would be worthwhile at that cost. We've recently solicited a number of additional quotes for the bridge, and we now have a number just in excess of $17,000 to replace this bridge, something that we had anticipated doing a number of years ago. But again, the costs just seemed to make it cost prohibitive. With this new figure, it is something that is certainly worthwhile. It's an area of town that we have a lot of foot traffic. This is something that was actually funded a couple of years ago by this council, so there's no need to allocate any additional funds to it. And I am pleased to report that an award has been made for the construction, or I should say reconstruction, of this bridge on the way down to the Morris Canal and Passaic River areas. And we're very happy to see this moving forward. So everyone, I know there's a lot of foot traffic, and I've gotten a lot of requests about this, but the time has finally come where we are going to be replacing that bridge, and we look forward to getting that area back up to par.
Thank you, Mayor. Can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public for general matters and agenda items?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Abbott, second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Madam Clerk.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, we may begin to additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Is there anyone in the chat that would like to speak to us? Mr. Suero, I see that you're here tonight with your family. Thank you for coming. We will not be voting on 1525, but if you'd like to come up and talk about that, you're welcome to. Councilwoman Hablitz and myself spent some time at your residence with your two lovely kids that were very in depth about the chickens. I think you probably have 20 of the best well-behaved chickens in Little Falls. You could hardly tell they were on your property. But if you'd like to come up and speak on this ordinance, you're welcome to.
Good evening. My name is Carlos Suero, for the record, 117 Broward Town. Just want to thank you once again for reaching out to us and coming over to see our chickens. And I wanted to bring my kids today so they can have an opportunity to see how a council meeting is done. This is the first time they've been in the building. We've been in town for 20 years. I mean, they're not 20, but my wife and I, my eldest son, 21, he was born here in town. And just want to again thank you so much for hearing our concerns. And I know that the voting has been postponed once again because you are making other considerations, and we are very, very happy for that. So I want to thank you all.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Counselor, if we could can we discuss this ordinance? Can you answer a question on this ordinance?
Well,
The way it's well written now?
yeah, wait till we're in that
In that-
portion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a motion to close to the public?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Mayor, do you would like to discuss any of the resolutions?
Council President, thank you. Everything that is on my report this evening are reoccurring, I guess, resolutions that we see oftentimes multiple times a year. The one thing that I would like to discuss that has not been discussed yet this year is the resolution offering the state health benefits plan incentives for employees. And the reason I would like to bring that up, although it was something that was discussed last year and this council passed a resolution that allows us to create a health benefit plan for our employees here in town. The issue or concern is there's a lot of math that goes into the benefit that is provided to employees under the current plan. What I mean by that is it is a percentage of the township savings that these employees were being offered for changing their state health benefit plan to a plan that costs far less, but had higher deductibles to them and out-of-pocket potential expenses. In an effort to simplify it and ensure that our employees are never harmed by taking this lower plan if they opt to do so, we are increasing the amount of the contribution that we make to their health savings plan that will allow them to utilize those funds if need be without being hurt out of pocket. But in the event that they do choose those plans, although we are making what would be a higher contribution to them, the amount of savings will be significantly greater, especially if we can get additional employees to switch to this plan. So there is a benefit to employees by passing this resolution, as well as to the municipality and all of the taxpayers if we incentivize employees to take this plan. So I know it's a lot. I know there's a lot of math that goes into it, but if we get additional employees to do this, it will be a benefit, not only to them if they don't spend all of the money in their health savings account, but also to all of us as a municipality and taxpayers.
Thank you, Mayor. Questions on that? Seeing no questions, we'll move forward. Have a motion to approve resolution A, B, C, D, E, F, and H.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Hablitz, I was moved by Councilman Murphy, second by Councilwoman Hablitz. Call the roll on that, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Hablitz?
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Have a motion to approve resolution G.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Hablitz, second by Councilman Vanchery. Madam Clerk, call the roll call for resolution G.
Councilmember Murphy?
Abstain.
Councilmember Hablitz?
Yes.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Yes.
Council President Scoba.
Yes. Now, Counselor, can we talk about ordinance 1525?
Yes. What did we did H. We skipped.
Oh, we did through H. I'm sorry. Okay.
Sorry. No worries.
Sorry.
I had the same question, but yes,
Are we okay?
we're good.
So on 1525, if this ordinance was to pass as written tonight, are we limiting chickens? Are we limiting the amount of chickens that residents can have?
The ordinance that I had transmitted on Friday to the clerk contains no limitation. It still requires a permit, still requires some degree of inspection of the coop, only for reasons of public health and safety. While you may have many owners that are very responsible, you are really not legislating for those people. You're legislating to protect against those who are not living up to those standards. So there still is a permit. There still is inspection. There is absolutely a prohibition 100% on roosters. That is, there's no doubt about that. We had gone back and forth looking at a numerical limitation based upon size, and ultimately the ordinance that is been amended and before the council at this point is one in which there is no limitation on the number of chickens, other than the limitation being that the person cannot use it it's only for personal use. It's not we're not looking to create agricultural zones whereby people are now selling eggs on the curbside. So if somebody wishes to have a certain number of chickens for their own personal use, that is up to them.
Thank you, Counselor. Can you define coop, when we say it's 6 feet high, how wide, how long, is that defined in this ordinance?
Yeah, those are defined here, and obviously, when you have more chickens, you're gonna need a bigger coop. We don't want, I'm sure the town and Clifton Health Department, as our health officer, would have a role to play. Mr. Beagle's office would want to be sure that the coop is properly built to provide the chickens appropriate space for their own purposes, but also I believe that there's a certain concern for avian flu. So they need to ensure that the chickens are not in certain proximity so that it doesn't breed that type of problem. So those are things that the health department would be responsible for looking into.
Thank you, Counselor. We'll move on to council reports. Councilwoman Habitz.
Thank you, Council President. So just a couple of library updates. The mayor and I were fortunate to do the Noon in the Know recently. And while we were there, we saw the most recent display that the library has. And it is a display of Abe Vigoda. Most of you know him from The Godfather or from Barney Miller. He was his daughter is a resident of Woodland Park. And this is the second installation that our library is fortunate to have. So everyone should really stop by and see. There's some really cool memorabilia. One of the things that's there is the hat that he wore on Barney Miller. Very cool. You guys should all stop by and see it. Also on October 14th at 6:30, Richard Stillman will again be at the library with live music, playing his German classics for the library's Oktoberfest. The farmer's market is wrapping up. It is in its last 3 weeks. This weekend we had Produce Pete there. He's always a hit. People will see him on Channel 4 News. And he is old friends with our farmer. So it's always nice to see them talking and trading produce and, just having a good time talking about the old days. For Farmoween, which is our last 3 weeks at the market, this Sunday we will have our Doggy Halloween contest. Registration will be at the market at 10:45 with an 11 a.m. parade. There will be prizes given out for most creative, funniest costume, and best owner pet team. So get your doggies and come down to the farmers market. The following week, there will be a pumpkin patch for the kids. Come down to the market and pick a small pumpkin. And then the last weekend of the market, which is the 26th, as always, there will be trick-or-treating at the market. Each vendor will have candy for trick-or-treating. And then the market will be done after 6 seasons. So that's all I have.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the spooky run?
Oh, yes. And also, we are still having signups for our 5K Spooky Sprint, which is on the 19th. Starting at 9 a.m. You can be a runner, a walker, costume contest, and sign up at runsignup.com. That's all. A reminder.
Thank you, Councilman Havelitz. Councilman Vanchery.
Thanks, Council President. As the mayor alluded to earlier, tonight at 6 o'clock, we had our annual Italian American Heritage Month flag raising ceremony outside here. Big thanks to the Passaic Valley Unico, who always, help pull this together, as well as members from the Unico National Chapter. It's always a nice event to bring everyone together to raise that flag. So grateful for them always coming here for us. A couple other updates too. I just want to recognize the Little Falls PBA. For this past Saturday, they had their annual Oktoberfest in town, and have to say it was well attended by a lot of people. I think everyone enjoyed themselves. So kudos to them for bringing the community together on a Saturday to hang out. And we also attended the pasta night this past Saturday as well for the 3 town parades. Myself, Councilwoman Hablitz, Council President Scoba, and Councilman Murphy were all there. And before you know, it's going to be November, and the parade that's going to hit the 3 towns is going to be here. So it was great to be there, and we're going to continue to help behind the scenes to make sure that's another great night for all the residents here in Little Falls, as well as Totowa, in Woodland Park. I do also want to say kudos to our counselor who's been helping behind the scenes with myself and Corporal Panola. We've been pulling together an ordinance to add a few handicap parking spaces on Main Street as well as a couple on Wilmore Road. We're almost there in terms of pulling that together. We just got to get a little more information for our counselor, but appreciate all the work you've been doing behind the scenes. I also had a couple conversations with the county, just looking into some requests. One question that we get all the time is, wasn't Stevens Ave supposed to be paved at some point from the county? I was able to confirm it's not happening anytime soon. And I did find out that we're not on the list because each November, the county kind of restripes the double yellow lines on their roads. Found out we weren't on the list. So I'm pushing to see if we can get a street or two on that list. Hopefully we'll get that done as well because some of them are in some need of some yellow paint. Lastly, I just wanted to say thoughts and prayers to the family of Connie Van Decker. I don't know if most of you knew who Connie was. She led the Little Falls Women's Club for a long time. She was a staple in town. If you weren't at Falls Kitchen or the Bagel Shop or Maggie's, Connie was always there holding court, having a conversation with you every time you went in there. So my thoughts are, with her family. She passed away 2 weekends ago. So I just wanted to recognize her. That's it.
You want, our police department was recognized at that event.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Yes, the town, what they did, well, for the 3-town parade, they recognized each of the police departments on Saturday as a thank you for helping with, Chief, I think you'll agree, a massive undertaking when it comes to closing roads and trying to route vehicles through a parade and having every resident mad because their street closed 5 minutes before they can get out. But they did take a moment to recognize all 3 towns, and Sergeant Cespedes was there to accept the award and, was grateful for that. And obviously everybody's looking forward to again this year, but yeah, thank you. Councilman.
Thank you. Councilman Murphy.
Thank you, Council President. So definitely had a busy week. Last Tuesday, we had the domestic violence awareness flag raising. Unfortunately, I had a work meeting down in South Jersey and wasn't able to make it back in time. So just want to thank the mayor and the rest of the town council for helping out. Good news about being on this council is I have Councilman Venturi, who looks close enough to me. So I think it's significantly older, but I think the committee members felt at home. He had to throw that in there. It wasn't me. I'd also like to thank Cindy Shenani and Marianne Holzak for helping out with that flag raising. I know they said a couple words and definitely were integral to it. As the mayor alluded, we also have the purple flags that went up yesterday and Saturday that the committee had gotten up. So definitely look out for that as you're driving down Main Street, Long Hill, any of the main roads or by the schools, as well as on Town Hall. We have the purple ribbons up just to signify and spread some awareness for DV. Another note, we were at the Little Falls PBA Oktoberfest on Saturday. The committee was there with a booth and had a lot of traction. We had some new pens and chapsticks that we handed out, which is good. We were able to get a lot out to any members of the community that stopped by the booth. So just want to thank the members for getting those ribbons up and as well as manning the booth for the Oktoberfest. Lastly, the calendar. We do have some ads left. Last I spoke to Tyler Pissarro at the rec center. The ad space was almost completely taken up. There was a couple spaces left, so we're coming close to that deadline. So anybody who's looking to take an ad out in this year's 2026 town calendar, please reach out to Tyler Pissarro so you can do that. That's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Murphy. Chief, I'm sorry.
Just, 2 quick updates. One is on the Senior Citizen Police Academy. That's still plugging along. Starting September, it's every Monday just for a couple hours. They're going over home security. They're going over consumer fraud, vehicle safety, and they're graduating on October 20th. If anybody would like to drop by. If you follow us on social media, you probably saw that Officer Antonio Pedro Buena returned to work. For those that may not remember, because it occurred all the way back in December, we had that horrific motor vehicle crash. Long road to recovery, but the officer persevered, and we're happy to welcome him back, unrestricted, and he returned to full duty last week. Everyone's probably driven up Stevens Avenue. I just want to thank you, Councilman, and our traffic safety section, kind of tie that all together. A lot of people are, the mayor's, he doesn't like to paint curbs yellow. And it's difficult for people to decide on, well, can I park there? Can I not park there? Because their ignorance to, parking within a certain distance of this, that, or the other thing. So I think it's just, it's clearly delineated, it's cleaned up, the crosswalks are, marked appropriately. And it really looks, eye appealing, and it's easy to enforce certain things without obviously, creating not guilty pleas within our court system. So I just wanted to thank you for your efforts there. And that's my report.
Thank you, Chief. October 10th is the Senior Advisory Harvest Moon Dance. That's going to be at 12 o'clock at the Civic Center. The count is up to 80 people. You still have time to register if you'd like to join us. That's from 12 to about 3 o'clock at the Civic Center. October 15th at 12 o'clock at the Rec Center is going to be a program with TOTWA for senior scans, all about senior scans. The scanning that's been going on with seniors have been picking up pace quite dramatically. So the two towns are going to get together with the Passaic County and discuss how to avoid being scanned on your phone. I got to say this, the odds are pretty strong that the mayor is going to be dressing up as a chicken for the spooky run. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but I think that could well be.
That was the first day of school.
Can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items?
So move.
Oh, do you have a question? Hold on a second. Let's back up.
Coun-
Counselor
Yeah,
Laura?
we, Council President, just for clearing up, we need to table
All
ordinance
right, right. I'm sorry,
1525 to a date certain.
October 20th. Yep.
Okay.
We're going to move 1525 to October 20th.
So we need a motion, a second.
Okay. Can I have a motion to move the ordinance of 1525 to October 20th?
So moved.
Moved by Council Murphy, second by Councilman Hablitz. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That will be heard on October 20th. Thank you. Can I have a motion to open the meeting to the public for agenda items?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery,
Second.
second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Madam Clerk, motion carries.
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. It is preferred if you give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President. Members of the public who have joined the meeting virtually and desire to provide comment shall raise their virtual hand in the Zoom application. The meeting moderator will cue the members of the public that wish to provide comment, and the Council President will recognize them in order. Members of the public who have joined the meeting by calling in must press *6 to mute and unmute themselves and *9 to raise their hand. Members of the public who have joined the meeting via the Zoom application must click the reactions icon and then the raise hand icon. Once the process is complete, we will return to the regular order of business.
Thank you. Does anyone like to speak to us in the chat? Seeing no one else coming before us in council chambers, can I have a motion to close the public?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Vanchery, second by Councilman Murphy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? I want to thank the staff for assisting me in putting this agenda together. Can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting? Moved by Councilwoman Hablitz, second by Councilman Vanchery. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? This meeting is now closed.